Recently, I have been getting into roguelike genre, and I have to say these are some of the most engaging games I have ever played. I played Vampire Survivors, which is 2D survivors like slash bullet hell like game. Mega Bonk, basically the 3D version of Vampire Survivors. So you have a 2D Vampire Survivors and a 3D Vampire Survivors, but something was missing until today. Ladies and gentlemen, 2.5D Vampire Survivors, Night Swarm. I'm gonna give you a quick review before jumping onto the guide. Timestamps will be in the description. If you have played Vampire Survivors, the premise is basically the same, but with more depth. Instead of multiple playable characters, you play as Roderick, a vampire lord. Your kingdom is overrun by werewolves. Your goal is to recruit followers and reclaim your kingdom by facing endless waves of werewolves. The game is pretty addictive. By the time this video comes out, I'll probably have around 25 hours into the game. There are a lot of things that this game does better than Vampire Survivors. First thing is the dash. Dodging is a huge part of this game, and since they gave you a dodge, they also gave you things to dodge. Enemies are still brain dead, but they have a lot of projectiles. Some of them charge at you, try to trap you. They be doing some goofy shit, not gonna lie. Also, occasionally the villain of the game will rain down projectiles, slow you down, diddle with you, take your dash away. So they give you things like dash just to take them away. I like to do the same, but for homeless people. Instead of 30 minutes run, you have a long path of stages with multiple choices. Each stage gives you 3 minutes to explore. The game actually has exploration instead of endless empty maps. You want to explore the entire map within 3 minutes to maximize your growth, which is possible but really hard to pull off every time. This adds speedrun element to the game. At the end of the path you face a boss, and then either you can fight endlessly until you die, basically it becomes Vampire Survivors, or you can return to the castle. I don't want to mention Vampire Survivors too often, but there are just too many similarities. I can't help it. However, there are some major differences. The game focuses on upgrading your main character instead of unlocking newer ones. Vampire Survivors has this problem where even though there are so many characters, the gameplay turns out to be the same. Mega Bonk kinda solved this problem by giving them unique stats which scales over time, but even then the endgame was kinda similar. This game switches things up by giving you companions instead, but in the end gameplay is gonna be the same regardless of what companion you pick. Because right now all they do is give you a stat boost. Just saying, it would have been a lot more engaging if they gave you a gimmick instead of a flat stat boost. For example, leaving a trail of bombs behind, or stun enemies every time you dash, or setting up traps. I'll take anything rather than a flat stat boost. You already have so many things for stats like your gear. There is a whole skill tree, course, Trom wealth. Basically everything gives you a stat boost. This is just a personal opinion, so keep that in mind. Moving on to the maps, I can tell that forest map was designed with so much more passion than the other ones. There is so much random things like vines, trees, rocks, a pumpkin garden, broken cart, a lot of glob that doesn't really matter but adds so much to the game, while the desert and castle feels emptier compared to the forest. Not to be mistaken with the castle where you upgrade things. Now that is just 10 out of 10, so much detail, and you can keep adding furniture with reputation system, which also gives you flat stats by the way. And gameplay wise, maps don't really do a whole lot other than the freeze mechanic in the ice map. To be fair, all these bullet hell games have this problem. The maps look different, but it's the same thing. Other than that, so far I haven't found a single bug in the game. Weapons are a lot more balanced than Vampire Survivors. The game doesn't let you completely break it and become an unkillable god, at least mid to early game, which is a good thing because it stays engaging for a while. Weapon fusions are amazing. I don't know why Mega Bonk didn't do it. So yeah, the game is pretty good. It's fun, engaging. The best part of the game is the art style. Chess piece like characters was really smart move. You don't have to animate a whole lot and it looks really unique. The story, voiced characters, and the lore sets up a nice theme for the game. Most roguelikes don't do that, and a 12-foot big mommy vampire waifu was absolutely necessary for the game, which makes this game 10 out of 10. It doesn't do anything unique other than the art style, but improves upon a lot of existing roguelike features. Now on to the guide. I don't really like making guides, not watching them, not making them. I think you should experience the game by yourself. That said, I'm gonna do a complete 180 and make it anyways because that's what people click on YouTube. If I can't beat them, at least I can beat myself. Join them. If you are just starting out, I recommend doing a few runs which will unlock most of your NPCs. Once you have all of them unlocked, the most important guy here is Master Hellsong. This is where you upgrade the skill tree, which requires these pink crystals. There are 3 branches you can unlock: damage, survivability, and the rest of the glob. But the branch that made my little branch a little excited is this one. This gives you flat damage increase and damage against bosses, which is always gonna be useful, so I recommend prioritizing this one first, then whatever you like. The left branch is gimmicky. It's either a lifesaver or sometimes even completely useless. 5% damage against enemies below 50% health is not that bad, but if you have enough damage you will probably one-shot enemies. But this becomes useful in harder difficulties when you can't one-shot enemies. But the other one, 7.5% damage against freezing or burning enemies, is completely useless until you unlock the blue tree. And even then you won't be burning or freezing all the time, so it's only useful when the blue tree is fully unlocked. And the burning damage you get from this tree doesn't apply to fire weapons. For example, even though the infernal breath says it burns enemies, it doesn't apply the burn effect. So the only thing this is boosting is the burn damage from the blue tree, maybe potions and artifacts. I also don't recommend going for the green one until you get the blue and the red maxed, because there is a companion which does a pretty good job of keeping you alive. Before talking about companions, let's talk about weapons. They are known as relics in this game. During battle, you will see 2 types of cards: weapons or weapon upgrades, and passives. You can see all of your relics in the room beside the main door. Currently, there are 27 relics in the game, excluding the evolutions or fusions, whatever you want to call them. To unlock new weapons, you need to do these challenges. For example, to unlock Blood Rain, you need to collect 5,000 blood ore. After completing the challenge, you can come here and buy them, which requires blood ore. I don't know why there are so many currency types in this game. It's unnecessary in my opinion, but I digress. You can also ban weapons from here. For example, I fucking hate frozen ball sack. My balls are already freezing. I don't need to see another one in my runs, so I can just ban it from here. During battles, you can combine 2 relics into one. Currently, there are 13 fusible relics in the game. In order to fuse, you need to upgrade both weapons to the max level, which is level 10, and then you will get a card of fusible weapons. After you fuse a weapon, it will count as one weapon, so you can pick another one. Passives. Similar to relics, this tab is for passive cards. You can ban or unlock passive cards from here. Keep in mind, these are the cards you will see over and over again. Only select those you want. Same goes for the artifacts. You can get these by defeating an elite or from the green shrines. Now let's talk about the companions. During battle, your companions will give you a stat boost. The active ability will grant you insane stat boost, but only for a few seconds whenever their mana is full. And the passive stat boost is always active as long as you have them with you. Just like you, they can also die, but they will come back after a minute. You summon companions by killing enemies at the altar, which is also marked on the path selection screen. And you should always prioritize companions over other things. As for which one is the best, I'm gonna say Chance Vial. Cooldown reduction was meta in Vampire Survivors, it was meta in Megabonk, and it is meta in this game too. The faster you attack, the faster shit dies. Damage is always useful. Crit damage is better than damage. If you have a lot of crit rate, I would say you should have at least 50% crit rate if you want to pick it over damage. Also keep in mind, if you have a lot of crit damage, then picking damage is more valuable. And if you are confused, pick damage, it's always good, while crit damage is only good if you have enough crit rate. Dr. Beakwar gives you speed. The thing is, the more you complete levels, the less speed matters, because you aren't restricted by the speed, but enemies. If you can kill enemies faster, you can explore the whole map within time limit. That said, more speed means you can avoid enemies easily, but I don't think it's better than damage. Definitely not cooldown. These 3 are unlocked by default, but the one you should unlock if you are struggling is Mr. Chrono. This man here is equivalent to the green tree. There are not a lot of ways to heal in this game. I can only think of a few, like picking regeneration cards, which is wasting levels, and potions from chests, which can give you anything, not just heal. So by having this guy, you are completely eliminating the need of any healing in your runs. You don't even have to pick regeneration cards, you can ban them. Keep in mind this guy is only good in the early game when you don't have green tree unlocked. Once you start to get all the gear and min-max everything, this guy won't be as useful. But early game, having him is so convenient, makes life so much easier. You last long in your runs, which means more resources and faster upgrades. Magnet 1 is almost useless because you will find the magnet shrine in most stages, which does the same thing. The useful thing is it gives you experience gain, so if you upgrade his passive ability a couple of times, this will be actually good. Only pick resource gain companion if you are playing on the easier difficulty and going for resources instead of completing the stage. You know what I think? The freeze combined with cooldown reduction will completely break the game. You get a lot of freeze from the skill tree, some from the gear, and you also have this companion. I wonder if you combine all of these with cooldown reduction, will the enemies be permanently frozen? And if so, the only threat remains will be elites and bosses. But for now, this guy is kinda meh. And the burn companion is the same. They won't be good early game. And finally, the crit rate companion is only good if you don't have a lot of crit rate on your gear. But I managed to get 40% crit from the cane alone, and it's a blue cane, so it's kind of worthless to me. To summarize, cooldown companion is goated, health is convenient, and pick damage over crit if you don't have enough crit rate. And because Elizabeth is a hot mommy waifu. Speaking of which, Corvus. You can meet and greet, smell her feet. In this room, during your runs you might find these cores or runes, I don't know what they are called exactly. Make sure you equip them, they will give you a flat stat increase, which is nice. Only upgrade them if you have rare or legendary, because these materials are hard to come by. During your battles you might find an apprentice, so after every battle you should come here and blow the thing as hard as you can, then a guy will come and give you money. Pro tip, this also works in real life. Also, if you want to blow more guys, you can find them in the stages with this icon. You need to first defeat them to unlock them, and after a while they will escape. The more guys you blow, the more resources you get. This game also has a reputation system. This guy here will give you quests like kill 1000 enemies, and in exchange he will give you green currency, which you need to unlock or upgrade companions. Whenever you level up your reputation, you get a big reward, including a schematic. Speaking of schematics or blueprints, this is where you equip or upgrade your gear. During your runs, you will get these blueprints from defeating an elite, boss, or from white pillars. They give you insane stats, so make sure you equip them. Selim's Tromwelt. Similar to skill tree, this guy will give you flat stat increase. I recommend maxing out damage 1 before unlocking others. During your runs, you will find a lot of random things like, what the fuck is even that? Whatever that is, you just give those things to him. It increases resource gain. Some of this looks AI generated. It is definitely AI generated. Like it says buried watch here, then it says crystal sphere. This is not a watch, it's not a crystal, nor a spear. It looks more like a bisexual sex toy. You can either put it in your D or in your R. I don't mind AI art as long as the game is good, and it is pretty good. The overall art style is great, so I don't mind a little slop here and there, but this might be too sloppy even for me. The only thing remaining in this castle is this guy. It's the same dude who gives you speed boost. I don't know if it's a random room or something I haven't unlocked, but as soon as I find out what it is, I will let you know in the pinned comment. My voice is dying, so I'm not gonna shout anymore. When you start a run, you will see this long path with multiple routes. You can see all of them have an icon. Not gonna explain every single one, but the important ones are skull or skulls, means you will face one or multiple elites in that stage. Elites drop artifacts and schematics, so they are worth fighting. This icon means there is a companion altar in the stage. Campfire and question mark icon are the most unique ones. If you select these, you don't have to play the stage. Campfire completely heals you and gives you an option to choose either experience or gold. On the other hand, question mark gives you a sort of a riddle. Not really a riddle, but like a situation. For example, it will say, along the path you find a glowing crystal of mana. Would you harness its power, destroy it, or put it in your R? Depending on what you choose, you will be rewarded with resources, health, or pain. Keep in mind that choosing a campfire or the question mark over playing the regular stage will give you less resources. So if you have time, it's better to play the stage. But if you want a speed run, just select any of those. At the end of the path, you will face a boss. After that, you can either end the run or fight endlessly until you die. To my knowledge, returning to castle doesn't give you any extra benefit, whereas fighting endlessly gives you more resources. Every minute in the stage gives you 50% luck, so the longer you survive, the better the loot gets. Also, every minute you will face a boss which drops schematics or blueprints. Interactables. This is one of the things this game does better than Vampire Survivors. There are a lot of interactables all over the map. Each stage gives you 3 minutes of time, so you actually have to think what to go for. The first interactable we're gonna talk about is the Reveal Shrine. This will reveal the good chunk of the map, which lets you see other interactables. Companion Altar will let you summon a companion when you kill a couple of enemies on it. Health Shrine. I thought this heals you with a dogshit amount, but I was wrong, it doesn't heal you. Rather, it increases your max HP by like 25. Magnet Shrine will suck all the resources including gold and crystals and gives it to you. Turrets when activated will shoot in a random direction. I don't know why I remember this game having a crusher, but I can't find it anymore. This table will turn you into a tornado for a short duration, during which you are invincible and do a lot of damage. Now let's talk about the pillars. There are 4 types of pillars. Each one of them can roll common, uncommon, rare or legendary drops. Red ones will provide you a weapon or a passive upgrade. Green ones will give you an artifact. Purple ones will summon an elite. And elites can drop a lot of good stuff. If you see a purple aura in any of them, it means you will get at least a rare item from it. And white ones will give you schematics or gear. A very important thing is, in normal difficulty, white shrines will only give you common or uncommon schematics, and if you want to unlock a rare or legendary, you have to play on harder difficulty. In the forest map, you can only get cane schematic. In the ice map, you will be constantly freezing and you need to constantly look for bonfires to warm up. In this map, you can find boot schematics. Desert map doesn't have any special mechanic, but you need to look out for whatever this is. In this map, you will find cloak schematic. Castle is the same, but with a lot more traps. You can find the final schematic, the crown, in this level. Now let's talk about some important tips. If you are just starting out and you don't have any gear, prioritize getting a couple of them. Even if they are common, they are just free stats. So what you wanna do is select any map and go from gold to gold and only roll white pillars. Do that for cane, cape and boots. To get the crown, you need to beat these 2 levels. So you can either go for the crown or go for the uncommon or rare ones in the nightmare difficulty. You will be dying a lot, but you don't have to win, you just have to survive and collect gear. And you can keep going until you get the legendary gear from the hell difficulty. And you can do that before even beating the game. Don't upgrade anything common. If you find uncommon with 2 good stats, for example, I got this cane with attack and crit rate, so I upgraded it. Same goes for the runes. Only upgrade uncommon if it's really good. Upgrading rare and legendary should be the priority. Anything that gives you damage, go for that before going for HP or regeneration. Because if you have enough damage, you are just untouchable. When you start a run, don't be greedy and pick all 4 weapons first and only focus on getting 2 fusible weapons. You don't need to pick 4 fusible weapons at the start because in early levels you just don't get enough resources to upgrade both of them unless you only pick weapon upgrade, and even then after fusing a weapon you will immediately get a chance to pick another. So waiting for getting 4 fusible weapons at the start will only slow you down. If you see a magnet in a stage, don't use it immediately. Explore the whole map, break every gold ore, you don't have to pick them. Then in the final 10 to 20 seconds, activate the magnet and it will pick up everything on the map. Speaking of magnet, you might be wondering, if there isn't a magnet, is it better to stay in one place or explore the whole map? The answer is explore the map and collect as much gold as possible. Because with gold you can activate shrines, which means more upgrades. Yes, you won't waste any XP if you stay in one place, but interactables are far superior. And keep in mind, the more you level up, the slower you level up. If you are playing an elite stage and you see a tornado table, save it for the elite. You are completely invincible while in this form. During the collection phase, look on the minimap and go towards red or gold crystals. If you are lacking resources, do a resource run on an easy stage. Pick Essence Hoarder Companion, which increases resource gain, and activate Essence Fang and passive relics. And always pick resource gain card whenever you see it. And if you are trying to beat a stage, ban resource companions and non-damaging passives like maximum health. Dash cooldown is worthless on normal levels. You already have pretty low cooldown, but in nightmare or hell difficulty, you really need dash cooldown. Also, movement speed is good, but it is not needed. I would rather have dash cooldown over movement speed because you can just dash around to explore and dodge. And finally, before the boss stage, try to spend every gold you have because pillars are hard to come by in infinite levels. Also, during the boss fight, decrease the relic opacity to 0. You will be able to see a lot more and dodge easily. So this is all I could gather so far. Usually I talk about dog shit or OP weapons, but so far there hasn't been anything crazy. Things are more on the balanced side. The ice orb was the most underwhelming. A very odd thing that happened was during a run, my level 7 edge blade did more damage than the fire rat bomb, which is a fusion of 2 weapons. Maybe some of the fusions are not worth doing, or maybe I got insane rolls on edge blade. Anyway, that's it. See you in a bit and goodbye.